Is world peace a utopian dream, or can it become our reality? As we stand on the brink of 2024, the state of world peace is a topic that's inescapable. Despite the advancements in technology, diplomacy, and social understanding, our world is still marred by numerous conflicts. One of the most enduring of these conflicts is the ongoing strife between Israel and Palestine, a dispute that has spanned decades, leaving deep scars in its wake. The recent Hamas attack on Israel and the subsequent retaliation has once again brought this conflict into the global spotlight, sparking conversations about peace, justice, and the path towards resolution. This conflict, like many others, is deeply rooted in history, politics, and the human struggle for identity and sovereignty. Understanding these conflicts requires us to delve into their origins, to explore the events that led to their escalation, and to examine the narratives that perpetuate them. The journey towards understanding these conflicts begins with exploring their roots and the events that led to their escalation. To delve into the heart of the matter, we must first understand the birth of Hamas. It was the year 1987, a time of political unrest and social upheaval. The seeds of Hamas were sown in the fertile soil of the Muslim Brotherhood, a potent force in the Middle East known for its advocacy of a pan-Islamic state. Hamas was not just a spontaneous reaction to the circumstances, but a calculated response to decades of conflict. The organization's inception was deeply intertwined with the First Intifada, a widespread Palestinian uprising against Israel's occupation of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. As the Intifada gathered momentum, Hamas emerged as a powerful voice for the Palestinian cause. But what started as a grassroots movement soon morphed into something much larger and more complex. Over the years, Hamas evolved, taking on a prominent political role in Palestine. It wasn't just a militant organization anymore. It became a significant political entity, winning a majority in the 2006 Palestinian legislative elections. Hamas's transformation into a dual political military force was both remarkable and alarming. It meant that the organization had the power to influence the Palestinian narrative, both on the streets and in the political arena. This evolution was not without controversy, as its military wing, the Izz ad-Din al-Qassam brigades, continued to engage in armed conflict, leading to international recognition of Hamas as a terrorist organization. Yet, within the Palestinian territories, Hamas was seen differently. Its social services such as education, healthcare, and welfare programs were critical in gaining the support of the Palestinian population. This dual nature of Hamas, as both a provider of social services and a militant group, is an integral part of understanding its role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. With this grasp of Hamas's history, we can better comprehend the events leading up to their attack on Israel. The road to conflict is seldom short or straightforward. This is especially true in the case of the recent Hamas attack on Israel. The roots of this discord lie deep within a complicated tangle of historical, political, and social factors. The path to this recent conflict was paved with increasing tensions in the region. The upsurge in violence in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories raised fears of a wider conflict. It seemed as if the region was sitting on a powder keg, waiting for the slightest spark to set it off. And that spark came in the form of confrontations in Jerusalem's Old City, particularly at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. Jerusalem has always been at the heart of this conflict. Palestinians want East Jerusalem as the capital of a future state. On the other hand, Israel regards all of Jerusalem as its eternal capital. This disagreement over the status of Jerusalem has fueled many conflicts in the past, and it was no different this time. The political climate within and outside Palestine and Israel also played a significant role. The divisive roles of former President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu deepened the divide between American Jews and Israel. The alignment of Netanyahu with the Republican Party and the Christian right alienated many American Jews who vote Democratic. This partisan association made it difficult for Israel to garner bipartisan support and unity among American Jews, further complicating the situation. In addition, the response of American Jews to Israel's conflict with Hamas marked a departure from previous times of crisis. Calls for an even-handed approach and an immediate ceasefire were heard from influential figures like Senators Bernie Sanders and John Ossoff, as well as the lobbying group J Street. It was clear that the political climate was shifting, and this shift was instrumental in paving the way to the conflict. The attack was not an isolated incident, but a result of a complex web of historical, political, and social factors. Understanding these factors is crucial to unraveling the complexities of this conflict and working towards a peaceful resolution. The spark that lit the fuse was the attack. A hush fell over the world as news of the Hamas attack on Israel broke out. The assault was calculated, targeting the heart of Israel. A rocket launched from Gaza soared through the skies, its trajectory aimed at causing damage and instilling fear. And it did, indeed, cause damage as it hit a house in southern Israel. Thankfully, the damage was slight and no casualties were reported. But the silence that followed was short-lived. Israel, in a swift response, carried out airstrikes in central Gaza. The strikes were not random. They targeted 2 training camps used by Hamas, a security post, and an underground site used for the production of rocket engines. The aftermath was a chilling testament to the escalating violence. Buildings crumbled, smoke filled the air, and the fear among civilians was palpable. The attack and the immediate response were a brutal reminder of the volatile situation. The violence didn't just shake the physical structures, it shook the very foundation of peace and stability in the region. The upsurge in violence raised fears of a wider conflict, fears that were not unfounded. Tensions were already running high due to confrontations in Jerusalem's Old City, particularly at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. In the wake of the attack, the world watched, holding its breath. The international community called for restraint and an immediate ceasefire. Yet, the attack and its aftermath further deepened the chasm between the two sides, underscoring the urgency for a solution. It also exposed the stark divide among American Jews, with some calling for an even-handed approach, while others continued to staunchly support Israel. The aftermath of the attack was not just about the physical destruction. It was about the shattered peace, the escalating tensions, and the urgent need for a resolution. The attack was a stark reminder of the complexities of the conflict and the urgent need for a peaceful resolution. The attack and its aftermath further deepened the chasm between the two sides, underscoring the urgency for a solution. Understanding the past and present paves the path for the future. As we stand at this juncture of history, the road ahead may seem daunting, yet it is not insurmountable. The journey towards peace begins with dialogue, a conversation where both sides are heard and respected. The voices of Israel and Hamas need to resonate in these dialogues, acknowledging the pain of the past while embracing the potential for a shared future. But dialogue alone isn't enough. It must be coupled with mutual respect and understanding. Respect for each other's rights and freedoms, and understanding each other's fears and aspirations. It's about recognizing the humanity in one another, despite the political borders that divide us. It's about acknowledging that peace isn't a zero-sum game, but a shared victory for all. The role of the international community in this process is pivotal. Governments, international organizations, and even individuals like you and me have a part to play. Whether it's through supporting peace initiatives, advocating for human rights, or simply educating ourselves and others about the issues at hand. Our actions, as small as they may seem, can ripple out to create a wave of change. The importance of individual actions in promoting peace cannot be overstated. It's about fostering a culture of peace in our daily lives. It's about standing up against hate, prejudice, and violence in all its forms. It's about choosing empathy over enmity, love over fear, peace over war. Remember, The power to change the world isn't exclusive to those in the halls of power. It resides in each and every one of us. It's in the choices we make, the conversations we have, the compassion we show. So let's use this power wisely. Let's choose peace. In the pursuit of world peace, every step, no matter how small, counts. The quest for world peace is not the responsibility of a few, but the duty of all. In this journey of exploration, we have delved into the genesis of Hamas, the path to conflict, the attack on Israel and its aftermath, and the way forward. We've seen how the seeds of conflict were sown and how they have flourished into a situation that affects not only the immediate parties involved, but also the entire world. The importance of understanding the root causes of these conflicts cannot be overstated. It is through this understanding that we can begin to make informed decisions and take meaningful actions towards peace. A conflict like the one between Hamas and Israel is complex, with historical, political, and social facets that intertwine and influence each other. But amidst this complexity, it is crucial to remember that peace is not just a distant goal to be achieved, but a process that requires continuous effort, understanding, and cooperation from every one of us. We all have a part to play in this narrative, whether it's through spreading awareness, advocating for diplomatic solutions, or supporting those who are directly affected. As we strive for a peaceful world, let us remember, peace begins with understanding and understanding begins with